Sunset Over Imdahl was developed by Teo Mathlin using RPG Maker 2000, a tile-based point-and-click engine used to create role-playing games in the style of old Super Nintendo games like Final Fantasy The Secret of Mana. The entire game, from the characters to the backdrops, have been hand-drawn, and the music used is Four Seasons, the most famous work of the Italian composer Antonio Vivaldi, which, considering the story and setting of this game, fits perfectly. Controls are very simple and easy to pick up. You use the directional keys to move, space to interact with people or objects, and escape to open the menu. In a few instances, you will have some mini-games to complete, but the game gives you a brief tutorial before you begin. And if you fail, you just try again. There's no penalty for messing up. The story is by far the main focus of this title, along with the visuals. The opening begins with the town of Imdahl being under siege by an army, forcing the citizens to remain hidden in its walls and isolated from the outside world. Eventually, the gates are forced open, but the army gets a surprise awakening. It seems while the siege was going on, during those several months, a horrific plague had entered the walls, killing all of its residents, save one. This lone survivor, a young boy named Lon, had just left his home after the loss of his mother to find only a mysterious nobleman amidst the snow-covered ruins. It's then that the stranger offers Lon an unusual proposition before showing him a glowing portal by a local statue. This is in fact a time-traveling portal, where Lon can jump between the Four Seasons of Imdahl whenever he pleases. Upon speaking to the unknown man again, Lon is then given a mission: to find the source of the plague and prevent it from consuming the town by winter. But as you go through the Four Seasons, you will find that locating the origin of the illness that destroyed your home is no easy task. There will be plenty of obstacles in your way, be it other citizens or just simply your own lack of direction. You spend the entire game in the same town, just during different seasons, so you learn the layout of the land very quickly. However, entrances and exits are not always labeled very well. Sometimes you might think you can travel through an open doorway, but it's just background, while other times a closed door is another passageway. Fortunately, there is an option in the menu to turn on markers that show you what is interactive, but the downside is that it also indicates where you have to go in order to advance the plot via red markers, making exploration and figuring out for yourself kinda useless. And more often than not, you will get disoriented going in and out of certain doors like the church archway. But the biggest issue of this title is the font used in the game. It's very pixelated in certain places, and some of the shapes of the letters make it look like an entirely different letter. The letter T is particularly questionable because it looks like an I or an L. And for a game that looks beautiful and focuses so much on story, needs clear text in order for people to understand what's being illustrated. Overall, this game is visually very pretty and has a really interesting story while using a great concept like time traveling to drive the narrative. I guarantee you Sunset Over Imdahl will tug at your heartstrings and keep you playing until the very end, even if it's just to enjoy Vivaldi's music.